Hello, my name is Bradley, and I'm your host of The Internal Game. So, a man named Robert Persig has one of my favorite quotes of all time. He said, "The only Zen that you'll find on the tops of mountains is the Zen that you bring up there." And this one simple, just truth eluded me for a long, long time. Uh, if we think that our salvation is going to be found in some future moment, and we have some event or some person tied to this moment, we are going to be mistaken once we get it, because in no time the search will begin again. There's nothing to wait for. There's nothing at the top of the mountain. There's nothing that someone has that you're missing. There's nothing, that some goal that once you get it, you'll finally be okay. You'll finally, people will finally see you, finally hear you. Once I can just show them that I can do this. Big illusions. Even Eckhart in The Power of Now, he says some people wait their whole lives to start living. Abraham Lincoln, he said, I think folks are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. Even in the self-image book Psycho-Cybernetics, he talks about the importance of happiness as a decision. If it's to be made, if it's to be experienced, it's to be experienced now. It's to decide now that I'm going to be happy. Which means you have to give up all the reasons why you're not, or at least don't take them too damn seriously, right? But I see this happen a lot, and I know that I spent years and years and years and years and years like this. Like, hey, it's in the next thing. It was in a constant chase, and the happiness, the peace, all that stuff was just right there, just right out of reach. And then I'd touch it, and then it was like, oh no, something else. Please do not fall for this illusion. What you're looking for is not at the top of the mountain. It's not in someone's pocket. It's not when you get the promotion. It's not when you get the money, the person, whatever. It's not in any of those things. And again, the happiness that you find in your relationships will be the happiness that you bring with you. The contentment that you find in your relationships will be the contentment that you bring with you. The unhappiness that you find in your relationships will be the unhappiness that you brought with you. The confidence that you get, or that you think is in that next job, or next promotion, next goal deadline, will be the confidence that you brought with you. There's nothing outside of you, and if you're in a state of waiting, you don't have to be. It just continues the wait. Even when you get said thing, you realize it's an illusion. I remember thinking about famous people. Right, that's what I wanted to be a long time ago. I wanted to be famous because I wanted to make music, and I wanted people to see me and hear me because I didn't feel seen and heard. And I remember thinking, like, how are some of these people, ending the, unaliving themselves, and with fame, like they have all this money, they have all this glory, every person they could possibly want, they could probably get. And the more you think about it, you realize it's like, okay, because you're thinking, man, I would never do that. And then you think, man, like, as far as material, as far as outer stuff, quote unquote outer stuff, this illusion that we play in, there's not much more this person could have grasped. So they're thinking, why do I still feel like this? Why is it still not enough? Why am I still, what's this hole for still? And it's because it was never on tops of the mountains. It was never in the album sales. It was never in any of those things. It's always been within. And the success, the all that stuff, it's just that, right? It's just, and that's dependent on what you deem successful. I may deem something successful different than you, right? It's not universal. But God consciousness, but the kingdom of heaven, this is universal. It's inside. And we're meant to go within. We're meant to realize this about ourselves. And if we don't, it doesn't matter how many things we get. If we don't realize that I am within, if we don't realize that, hey, I can create my own happiness right now. I can actually have a good day right now. If we don't realize these things, it will always be at the top of the mountain that we're climbing. And because we get to that top of the mountain, and we don't find it, even if we're just happy for a second, we'll think, oh, maybe I got to climb a higher mountain. All illusion. So if you are to find happiness and love and joy, it's all to be found within. You don't need to keep searching. And it is a decision to go within. It is a decision to say, okay, I'm going to do this now. Like at any given point, you have a choice to focus on many different things. Many different things. And if you're focused on what's in your mind going wrong, if you focus on what's not there, if you're focused on why you can't be happy, why it's way over there and you just got to get there, if you're focused on these things, then it's no wonder that you're in a chaotic state of being. It's no wonder that you're not happy. It's no wonder that you're not feeling fulfilled within. Like it's a wonder that you keep thinking it's out there, or it's no wonder that you keep thinking it's out there because you don't have it right now, right? So you're like, it's got to be over here. If I feel this way, and I like that idea over there, I like that person, I like that goal, I like that money, I like all that stuff, and it's over there, then it must be that, because I don't feel whole right now, I don't feel okay right now. So I always start with telling people, be your own best friend, because you can realize soon that you are responsible for your state of being. And when you start shifting and saying, okay, I'm going to think better thoughts, I'm going to start thinking favorably of self, I'm going to stop believing all the negative thoughts, I'm going to start like intending my day but to be happy and look at the good and the best in everything. You notice like, oh shit, there's really not much more that can make me happier than how I'm doing right now. Then you can actually say these are preferences, these are experiences that I want to have, instead of like clinging on to them. But the only Zen that you're going to find on the tops of mountains is the Zen that you bring up there with you. This is a gold quote. And like Abraham Lincoln said, like folks are about as happy as they make their minds up to be. That's true. You're about as upset as you make your mind up to be. You're about as grateful as you make your mind up to be. No one's doing any of these things for you. You're doing these things. And then you experience the circumstance. You experience the state of being within. Like you state of being first, circumstance second, but you know what I mean? Like you this is all you. So a lot of times being happy is giving up all the reasons why we can't be. A lot of times feeling like we're enough, that's a weird one, right? But like is give up all the reasons why we're not. A lot of times being stable is just stop believing all the fucking nonsense that comes into the head. But I promise you, to think that it is outside of you, it will always be right there, just out of reach. That's how it'll feel. It's not in the next video. Doesn't mean you guys can't keep up with this stuff. But like, to try to find salvation and that answer in the next video or the next book or the next relationship, you bring you with you. So the answer's within. The decision is to be made by you. And it's all just you. But it does require learning that, like, hey, sometimes you have to go show yourself you can get in a great state of being all by yourself. Sometimes you can find the love within all by yourself, just so you can realize, oh shit, it's not. Sometimes you gotta do that just to realize it's not out there, because if not, you just keep searching. Like one of the best decisions I've ever made was just being like, fuck it. I don't care if I ever get anything I want ever again. I just want to, I'm going to be happy no matter what. I'm going to, and I knew I was going to have like sad emotions and things like that. I didn't mean, I just not identify with them. I just knew that I was going to be like, hey, you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to do anything to get anything. I'm tired of this fucking, oh, gotta do this. I gotta do that. Gotta do all that. Gotta do all that to get my stuff. Like I don't care if I ever get it again. I was like, I just was like, yo, I have to get myself together. I have to like stop suffering so much because this is all my doings. And then of course things started to take shape, but at that point it didn't really matter too much because I was like, oh, I see how it goes now. But I had to get to a place of being like, no, okay, I'm going to, like, I made a decision. I'm going to do this no matter what. It's not about getting anything. It's just like, I'm tired. If I say I want to be happy, if I say, oh, you guys understand, I just want to be happy, then why am I not doing it? Like, why am I waiting? Why am I putting it off? Like, no, if that's what I really want, if I really wanted peace, I would choose peace. If I really wanted to be happy, I would start being happy. If I really wanted to, oh, I just want a life that's too precious to lose, and then I should just look around and already realize I have one. Like all these things, like if it's to be experienced, it's to be experienced now. There is no other time. There's nothing to wait for. So, I love you guys, and again, there's nothing to wait for. The only zen that you bring on tops of mountains, or the only zen that you find on tops of mountains, is the zen that you bring up there with you. The only happiness that you find in a relationship is going to be the happiness that you bring with you. The only unhappiness that you find in the relationship is the unhappiness that you brought with you. Everywhere you go, there you are. So, go within. Decide to let everything and everyone off the hook for your happiness and your peace and your zen. Like it's not them, it's you. They're just reflections of you. So if you want peaceful experiences, then you need to become peace. If you want loving experiences, then you need to become love and think lovingly and lovingly assumptions about self and others. Like it's never gonna be outside of you. And if it's to be experienced, it's to be experienced now. That's all I got. Love you guys. See you soon.